Forget everything you've heard about the draft for a second. While all the spotlight is on the college prospects, a behind-the-scenes move between Detroit and Cincinnati has just leaked, and it has Brad Holmes' DNA written all over it. We're talking about a reinforcement that could arrive not just to be another piece, but to be the safety valve that separates a talented team from a Super Bowl champion. If you think our defense was already locked in, get ready, because what's coming could shake the very core of our linebacker unit. What's up, One Pride family? This is Noah. If you're like me and can't sleep thinking about how this roster is going to be built for 2026, you're in the right place. We know that in the Motor City, nothing comes easy. Respect is earned the hard way, and the front office knows it. The draft is right around the corner, but the hottest news right now isn't coming from a university. It's about a potential trade that could bring in a veteran who knows our division like the back of his hand. Here's the story. The 2026 draft is approaching, and pass rusher and offensive line are the obvious priorities. But here's the part nobody is talking about. Our depth at linebacker is hanging by a thread. Yes, we re-signed Malcolm Rodriguez and brought in Damone Clark, but what happens if Alex Anzalone or Jack Campbell has to step out, even for just a series? That's where the name circulating around the halls of Ford Field comes in, Oren Burks. Currently with the Bengals, Burks is the type of player who won't make national headlines, but makes coaches sleep at night. He's 31 years old, a battle-tested veteran, and most importantly, he specializes in something Dan Campbell values above all else: special teams and immediate readiness. But the question that's keeping people intrigued is this: why would the Bengals move on from a guy who played all 17 games and had the most starts of his career last season? Some believe Detroit has already signaled with a 5th or 6th round pick, a low price for a team with nearly $24 million in cap space. It's exactly the kind of low-risk, high-reward move that Brad Holmes loves to make. Let's go deeper. Why does Burks make sense right now? First, he knows the NFC North. He spent 4 years with the Packers. Yes, the enemy, but he knows how they operate. Second, he's the perfect backup for Rodriguez. The real impact here isn't replacing Anzalone, but ensuring that if Rodrigo has to take on a full starting role, Burks can step in and hold things together without the defense collapsing. The consequences for rivals are clear: a Detroit team that's deeper and far less vulnerable to injuries. But it's not all perfect, and this is where the tension rises. If you look at the advanced stats, the red flag is impossible to ignore. PFF gave Burks a pass coverage grade that's brutal, last among 88 linebackers. Opposing quarterbacks posted a 127.1 rating when targeting him. That's alarming, right? If he gets exposed in a playoff game, a Super Bowl dream could turn into a nightmare in a single passing play. That's why there's caution behind the scenes. Something big feels like it's about to happen, but it's a double-edged sword. Is Brad Holmes willing to ignore the cold numbers and trust Dan Campbell's eye for character and grit? There's a growing sense that if this trade goes through, it will prove Detroit values culture and special teams over analytics. The locker room mindset this year is reportedly no weak spots. Burks wouldn't come in to be the interception hero. He'd be the worker who ensures the opponent's punt doesn't flip the field, who stops third down runs at the line of scrimmage. He recorded 48 tackles last season, a personal best. He's a force against the run, even if he struggles in coverage. The key insight I got from a source close to the situation is this: the Lions don't want to put all their eggs in the draft basket. The draft is a lottery. Burks is a known quantity. He's been in the trenches. He knows the pressure of division games. Bringing him in for a late-round pick is about protecting the team from inexperience. So here's the question for One Pride. We have $23.7 million in cap space. Is it worth spending a 6th-round pick and part of that money on a veteran who's bad in coverage but a monster on special teams and run support? Or would you rather Brad Holmes use that pick to chase a raw prospect who might take 2 years to develop? What matters more, the security of a veteran or the upside of a rookie? If you trust Brad Holmes with your eyes closed, drop "In Brad We Trust" in the comments. And if you think Burks is a trap because of his coverage issues, I want to hear your arguments.
Make sure to subscribe, family, because the draft is coming and I'll be covering every second of it. Turn on notifications because if this trade gets announced, I'm going live immediately. Let's go, because Detroit doesn't roar out of fear anymore. Detroit
roars because it owns the jungle.